The world is on fire. We shall see what rises from the ashes.
I did not unmute myself. So all you got then was Quinn. So here we go. Hey guys, Rich from Richmond Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. Welcome to the new season of the Weekly Bugle. And I'm going to apologise for us being late, but as we were setting this up, Quinn went, have you seen the latest transmission that's just come through? And yeah, so we're going to get on to that, guys. We are going to get on to that. And I've just realised it says and painting competition winner on the thing. So let me go.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And just try and change that. I'm not even.
We're not having another like 10 gooey chewies all spelled different.
No, that was horrible.
It was funny the one time.
Not good at all. But yeah, guys, all sorts has happened. We had MiniStravaganza, and then we didn't have MiniStravaganza, which I was happy about because it meant that I didn't miss it. We now know where MiniStravaganza is again. We then had loads of releases in terms of new things that we were getting, new character. We got the trailer for Hydra and Red Skull, Hydra's Red Skull against World War II Cap, which we'll take a look at, which again was absolutely amazing. So hyped, haven't gotten to catch one of these live in forever. Infant takes a lot of attention. Well, welcome, Forced. Good day, sir.
Is it Forced or Faust?
Faust or Forced?
Isn't Faust the dude from the book with the devil?
I don't know. I do not know. So what we're going to break down first. Well, there's so much. Originally, I'd asked you guys to send me questions in, and loads of you have sent me questions in. So I may have to do a separate video just answering all of the questions you guys...
I think what this is going to end up being is, you remember when we first started the Bugle, and like the second episode we had with all of the X-Men stuff, like Colossus, Juggernaut, all those leaks.
Yeah.
Plus like another set of things. I think, we start each season off with a boom. Maybe this is a bumper Bugle. Who knows?
Maybe this could be a bumper Bugle, yes. So, Quinn, let's jump straight into it. And because the last video we did, Quinn, it was a pre-recorded one, but it was around Scourge and Heimdall. Hopefully you guys all caught that. Even though it's slightly out of order, the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the two cards from the CP 102. CP 102. How the hell are we already on CP over 100? That is.
I mean, we're kind of not though.
Oh, I mean, we're not. But so Quinn, we have different opinions on these. You think they're both trash. I think one of them isn't very good, but I'm quite excited by the other one.
One of us is correct.
Yes, I am. But let's run through these cards really, really quickly, guys. So let's start off with Weapons of Midgard. Because this is clearly being designed, Quinn, I assume with the hope that this is a Doom Prophecy type setup. So he'll get his extra... Because he's 4 physical defense. So he could be rolling 9 dice on a beam 4 attack. Yes, on the right setup, it could be okay. But this for me, Quinn, whereas we've had a real resurgence, not a resurgence, because none of them have ever been good up until recently. We've had some good, I don't know what to call them, like weapon cards or attack cards that are tactics cards. Because in the past they've been terrible. We got some good ones that come in now, like Ricochet Blast is absolutely amazing. And there's a couple of, Seven Sons of Cinnabus was probably the first one that was good. Yeah, Illicit Tech is really, really good. For me, they've fallen right back in this is just not very good. Like, I can't ever imagine this making my 10, let alone my 5.
It's always the fucking power cost that makes these cards bad as well.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that people go, no, because you can play it with Doom Prophecy, and then, okay, at that point, what is the, first of all, opportunity cost, and then what is the actual cost
So you're investing
of this
two
card?
cards and half of Scourge's max potential power in order to make a 9-dice beam once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which
I mean, maybe if they had like a few other effects stacked on it, like why doesn't it give bleed?
yeah, Bleed would be really good.
Bleed, pierce, anything of that sort of nature would have been cool.
But yeah, so who knows? Who knows? I'm not. We go into more detail on it. Honestly, guys, there is so much shit to go through today. It literally just like gone like this. So yeah, Quinn, thumbs up or thumbs down on this one? Real straightforward. I think
I keep forgetting the cameras over there now.
I think for me, like it's situational, but it's a thumbs down. It's a thumbs down. It's situational, and it's so. What's that? Sorry.
Just put Quinn's sound. I imagine there's something wrong with it.
Oh, can you guys hear Quinn? Quinn's audio has not been great today. I think he's run out of internet where he lives. Yeah, it is a bit dodgy. Sorry about that, Glyn. It doesn't mean that you don't have to. On the title of the channel, it says no more Medpack or Field Dressing. What do you know? I will get back to you on that one, Chewie. We're going to be covering that one off. So it's a thumbs down for both me and Quinn for that one. Meet My Executioner. So this is the one that I think could be really good. So, unaffiliated, reactive. And it's actually worth pointing out both these cards are unaffiliated. So it does... What I think Quinn means is that there is a chance here somebody's going to find a way to make these work outside of Asgard, potentially. Potentially. So reactive, when another allied character would suffer a collision, Enchantress may spend 2 power to play this card. Place an allied Scourge the Executioner within 1 of the character suffering a collision. Scourge suffers the collision instead. During the collision, if Scourge would suffer damage, reduce the amount he suffers by 1. Always makes me... Right. When... Quinn, you might want to drop off, actually, mate, and reconnect. I think people are saying it's really bad. So I'll just run through this quickly. Double Rich. That's no good. That's the wrong one.
I'll try that.
There we go. Hopefully that's better, guys. Let us know. Scourge the Executioner, it says, like, his full name makes me think, like, are they planning another Scourge? Like, is that...
No, I think that's just how they do things.
I know. So, I think, Quinn, the key thing for me with this is, it is Asteroid M, potentially, because there's no limit on the range of this, and you could be carrying something. You can also throw shit into your own characters. So this could be a way of getting a herb, for example.
An herb, yes.
But again, I like this card because A, it feels thematic, and B, it feels like there's enough mechanics in there that there's some potential to do some shenanigans with it. But what I think is it probably needs a little bit more time. I haven't spent any time, guys, looking at MCP stuff for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, you've been a Tatooine boy, haven't you?
I have been painting up some Black Suns. But but I think there's big potential in this card, Quinn. So let us know in the comment section what you think.
With what's just happened, which we're going to get onto, my estimation of this card is quickly increased.
Gone up significantly. So I'm going to go a double thumbs up, Quinn.
I'm going to give a single thumbs up because I'm still skeptical, but potential for improvement.
Cool.
Glyn, to answer your question, not at all. Have you heard him speak?
Right, let's go through. Let's go through before we jump into any more, let's just say a quick hello to everyone that is there. So Chewy, good afternoon, buddy. Admiral Snackbar, always good to see you. Glyn, thank you for the heads up on Quinn's sound. BD, hope you're good. Tank Lord, Quinn is a robot. Barely. He's barely a human, so potentially. Beef Dragon, hey Cody. Ryan, hope you're well, buddy. Since a lot of models are a mix of MCU comics, I would have liked this to be Enchantress or Hela. I think that's a fair shout. I wouldn't have minded seeing something that brought Hela back into the game a little bit.
A new card would have been good.
Well, that would have been.
Character, that is.
And then, question, do you feel threatened by Web Warrior Protocols becoming the premier MCP BAT rep channel? Look, I mean, Aaron's a good friend. We joke. I'm
you actually like that?
My plan is I'm going to be heading.
That was a joke.
Robot is voice, sound is all. No, okay. So, yeah, I think yours might be
I
still
don't
bad.
know, because it says my video connection is like.
It's still pretty good, yeah. So yeah. We'll have to see. TVAC, we're going to go through, mate. We're going to go through field dressing and Medpack.
All in good time.
We have got a lot to get through. So, second item on the agenda before we go into the new reveals is we've got a new date. A new date for MiniStravaganza. Get it in your diaries, guys. 14th to 16th of July. That is going to be a Thursday. Is it a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I don't know. It's going to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We heard from Will on the, I think he was painting the swoop bikes, that it's going to be a revised program, as you probably expect. So there will be some other stuff that we see from that as well. But Quinn, are you still excited for MiniStravaganza?
Mate, I'll be honest, I wasn't that excited for the first one.
I wasn't.
I was pleasantly surprised by what we got, but I wasn't really, I didn't have my hopes up. Now, I don't have that potential for surprise anymore, I don't think, because they've shown most of the cool shit.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, yeah, so get it in your diaries, guys. Again, we're going to try and get through this. If you and Quinn are friends, I'd hate to see how you treat your enemies. I treat my enemies better than I treat Quinn. Sorry, no, Glyn, let me go back to your question, because he rudely...
You treat everyone better than you treat me.
He rudely interrupted me. So look, Aaron's a good friend of mine. I'm going to be going down and actually doing a battle rep with Aaron. And look, for me, I don't feel threatened by anyone creating any sort of MCP content, because the more people out there talking about this game means the more people are going to get playing the game. So, no, jokes aside, I am going to be doing some bat rep reports. Maybe you guys have seen the Star Wars Legion stuff. I just need to get somebody over now who can play with me. That's recent, that's nearby. So there's a couple of people I'm going to be reaching out to. Yeah, you're going to start to see some of those live bat reps in the not too distant future. And I did buy a new camera rig yesterday as well. So we've got a new overhead camera rig. So rather than this thing here, which is like a flimsy floppy thing to hold my mobile camera, we've got a new camera rig that we are going to be using. Quinn, not that one. Right. Characters. Let's talk about some characters, Quinn, that we got. First of all, Nick Fury Sr. and the Howling Commandos. We don't know much about them yet, and I think this is going to bring some brand new mechanics into the game. And why do I think that? Well, if you'd have seen the title of this pack and thought that it was Nick Fury with some grunts, I think you wouldn't have been, I think you'd have been on the right track. But it's a single base with all three characters on there. So I'm really, really intrigued as to how they're going to do this. I think he's going to be a leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. potentially. I think that it makes sense. It's obviously a different Nick Fury. As you can see, it's the Nick Fury Sr. I'm not quite sure what happened, but in the artwork, Nick Fury Sr. is white and Nick Fury Jr. is black. I don't know if there is a I genuinely don't know
Isn't
if there's a if there's a comic book
isn't
reason for
isn't
it.
Junior his grandson?
Is that the thing? Let us know in
I
the
think
comment section,
that's the
guys.
thing.
What is the reason for that? How did they
'Cause
overcome that in the comics?
Fury Junior's Pound to Play, I think they say he's his grandson.
Ah,
So
okay,
I
okay.
assume
But we get Dum Duggan, and then who's the other guy, Quinn? I can't remember who the other guy is.
Steve Buscemi.
There we go. Steve Buscemi. Did you just say?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. There we go. There's a better look
He's
of
not
the.
the French guy with the little mustache.
He is. Yeah. Yeah.
They all have mustaches as well, actually.
Oh, they don't know if they do actually, but obviously, it's going to be the
Maybe
Hoff.
they do.
I'm going to paint him up as the Hoff. He's going to look really cool. For me, I'm more intrigued as to what this brings mechanic-wise, Quinn, than I am actually the characters. I've got to be honest, guys. World War II Marvel, I'm a bit meh about. Like,
I mean, I think the most interesting thing about that, and also the Captain America alongside it, is the shared tactic card between the two over the top.
yes.
Because that feels very much like a Shield leadership card, if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, so let's have a look at that then. So the cards included in this set, over the top, as Quinn just said. I don't know if you could hear him properly. Let's jump forward to.
You can hear me fine.
I can hear you, but I don't think other people can.
This doesn't feel like a me problem.
So both the new Nick Fury and the new Steve Rogers pack have got over the top, which the only time we've ever seen that, other than reprints in other cards and other packs and things, is when what's the word? It's been like a reprint of like 1-2 Punch, right? But you get alternate artwork on it. The only other one is in the Black Order Battle Pack and the new Black Swan Supergiant Pack. That's the only time we've seen it. That's a leadership card, so I think when you're probably on the right lines there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I say, for me, it's the mechanics. Well, how does this work? Are they going to get 3 actions? It's really, really interesting as to how it's going to work. What are your thoughts, Quinn, on it?
I don't know. Can you repeat the question? I was reading something.
What are your thoughts on Nick Fury? Nick
Just
Fury
on
Senior.
Fury,
Yeah, just in general.
He's the least cool Nick Fury.
He is the least cool Nick Fury.
There we go. That's all that needs to be said. And anyone who has him is Nick Fury. Is a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, apologies, guys, about Quinn's audio. We'll try and keep him down to a minimum.
I'll try and restart in the stream. Because it's clearly not me, 'cause you can hear me fine.
No, I can't. Yours is breaking in and out for me. Yeah. Right. Next one. We've just mentioned it. It makes me laugh, Quinn, that they had to put the wording Captain America and the original Human Torch. But yet still, the number of people who I saw go, why are they releasing the Human Torch, not the rest of the Fantastic Four? It's like, it's a different one. It's a different one. I know there was a lot of talk when a few people weren't happy about another Cap, saying that Namor would have been a better partner for this one. Namor and the original Human Torch were very, very closely. They worked closely with each other a lot.
Oh, right. Okay.
But look, I mean, he looks pretty cool. I don't mind the Captain America one. Is it a bit annoying getting different versions of the same character when there are still so many characters yet that we haven't had? I'm going to go out on a limb here, Quinn, and say, yeah, it is a little bit. Like, I think it is. And I get that these are snapshots in time of certain characters. But actually, do we, right now in the game, when, let's be honest, it's still very much in its infancy, do we really need 2 Red Skulls, 2 Black Widows, 2 Iron Mans, you know, our 2 Doctor Strangers. I don't know who else we've got now. 2 Captain America Steve Rogers. You know,
I would have been a lot happier with it had it been like a 5-threat Mjolnir wielding Cap. One that's discernibly different from the Core Box one. Other than the fact that this one has a shitter costume.
Yeah, well, so it's the old scale. It's the old scale costume, isn't it?
Yeah,
sorry, yeah. When I said worked with each other, worked was the wrong word. Associated with each other. That's the one that I was going for. Sort of associated with each other. But yeah, let me know in the comment section. How do you guys feel about getting? And obviously they're different versions, but you know, multiple versions of the same character. So yeah. So let's have a quick chat. Let's have a quick catch up on these. Yeah, 3. I'm okay with there being multiple versions of Spider-Man, for example. And what I mean by that is there being a Miles Morales Spider-Man, there being a Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know, I'd be okay with Spider-Man Noir or whatever the one from the future is. But yeah, did we really need 2 Peter Parker? That's my big quin is.
When you made the first Peter Parker so shit, yeah.
Well, yeah, there is that. And Daredevil is one that I'll give them a pass on because they are 2 very distinct, different characters.
Well, yeah, villain, not villain. That's distinct enough, and you also first Daredevil with the mistake.
So right, let's go through this then. Nick and Quinn's Nick Fury is Nick Fury Jr. is Nick Fury's son. But the fun fact about children is they have 2 parents. Cheers, Pharaoh Man. I'm pretty sure that Nick Fury Jr. is Senior's son. He is technically only half black. I didn't know. I wasn't saying it in any derogative term, guy. I genuinely did not know what happened to trigger that change. White Fury is
sworn that they said grandson in the panel play, but
maybe, yeah. White Fury is, of course, the original. Black was from the Ultimate Universe. Ah, okay. Based on the likeness of Samuel Jackson, after the Avengers, they decided they wanted a Black Fury in the mid. So we started off in the Ultimate Universe. That's really good to know, Charcoal.
A lot of the better ideas started off in Ultimates, and a lot of the worst ideas in Ultimates, from what I gather.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. We get releases from all over. Do you know, let's do this, right? Let's do this really quickly, and we'll come back to it. How happy are you about multiple models of the same character? And then it's just yes or no. So, how happy are you? Yes, you're happy with it. No.
On a scale to yes to no,
on a scale of yes to no, how happy are you with it? Let's go to look at some other ones. Neymar is probably being saved for an Atlantis release. If they wanted World War II, though, I guess they could have done another one of the Invaders like Spitfire or Union Jack. That would have been interesting. I don't mind multiple versions of the same character, but I'd still like to see more heroes we haven't seen. I agree. Don't give plastic crack addicts the full stash, Rich. Need Red Hulk. Yeah, Red Hulk is one I would really like to see. And
it's going to be really funny when Red Hulk comes out and all the people that painted their actual Hulks
Red Hulk, yeah.
Oh, no.
It's why I rarely paint them as different versions of the character.
If it's an alt costume, fine, but if it's a completely different character...
And then, oh God, I hope we never get an Ultimate affiliation.
You don't want to have the Blob eating the Wasp alive?
So
that's the thing that happens.
Most people, guys, 28% of you at the moment, I'll leave it up for a little bit, are okay with it. So yeah, interesting. Right, let's look at the next one then, and it is Baron Strucker and Arnim Zola. I didn't want the Arnim Zola version in the computer. I wanted the little guy from the MCU. I'm not gonna lie.
I can never remember. his name, but he's in a lot of things.
Yeah, he is. He is. So I'm not going to lie. Look, first of all, Quinn, it's never bad getting another Baron, right? So
I mean,
we're on route to be able to have a team of
we're
Barons.
50-50 on good Barons so far.
Yeah. Mordo's okay. Mordo is
all right,
okay.
but he's not Baron Zemo, is he? Because Zemo
I mean-
set the bar for parody.
I look, if Baron Strucker is better than Baron Zemo, then there is
He's got
power.
a problem.
There is power creep in this game. That's all I'm saying. Complaints about this is even in his like computery form, he's still not supposed to be like 8 feet tall. He's like 5.5 feet tall. But I mean, I'm okay with it. It does.
He's usually massive.
No, 5'4", I think.
No,
Or
he's usually massive.
is it
5'4"
massive
is
usually?
probably the original height of a human.
My only problem is that all I look at this is it, and is it Krang from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I mean, it just reminds me.
Is that going to be one of like, the few alt things you do?
It might be. It might be. Yeah. Let's have a quick look at their character pack, Quinn. See what we get in here. So there we go. Cards included in this set: the High Council, which is intriguing, and Scientific Method. I mean, it doesn't really lend. I don't know what they could be. You know, High Council could be an affiliation card.
I think High Council is going to be a leadership card.
Do you think it's going to be?
I think that the interesting thing with this is that I can't confirm it because they haven't put Red Skull's box up.
They haven't put Red Skull.
If they had, and the High Council was in that, I'd be pretty damn sure.
If High Council is in Red Skull's box, it is 100% a leadership card. 100%.
Also, I kind of like the idea of that being the leadership card, but there being some sort of faction ability, like, you know, cut off one head, 2 more take its place. If your leader dies, pick one of your remaining characters and they gain the leadership. Which
I like
you would then
that.
need a card for, because obviously you couldn't have Red Skull's leadership be on someone else when they're not on the board, because characters that aren't on the board don't have rules.
Well, no, but what about on the leadership card? More about if it's just the same card and it literally says, and maybe it's not as, maybe the leadership isn't as powerful, but it's on the actual leadership card itself, and it's like, upon the leader dying, this card can be
this
passed.
card that transitions to another character, and potentially it comes along with a leadership change.
Oh,
Maybe
okay, so double-sided.
Like a weaker leadership, but obviously you get the benefit of keeping a leadership in the game for your team. I think that could be really cool.
I like that. Let's catch up on some of these. People are shouting for Namor. Let's end this poll, guys. So 73% of you are okay with it. That's pretty. That's actually better than what I thought it was going to be. Let's have a look. Multiple models of the same hero is fine by me, but blah, blah, blah. Give me Namor. I would love to see alt sculpts released or larger vignettes like the Doc Ock Spidey one. Yeah, they're doing I believe I've heard a rumor that it's going to be Wolverine Sabretooth next for the Rivals.
The store page said Weapon X, didn't it?
It was Weapon X, yeah, but I'm assuming that's the one that makes sense.
Will probably have at least one more character based on the increase of price compared to the Doc Ock Spidey one.
Okay,
but we'll
interesting. See. I've been dying to see a Dark Avengers for a while. Sentry's my favourite. That would be really cool. Yeah, I do agree with that. Apologies, guys. This is probably the busiest we've ever been. So apologies if I don't get through and get to everyone's. Madame Hydra would be really good for the new Hydra affiliation.
Isn't that just Viper?
It could be, yeah, I'm not sure.
It isn't Madame Hydra Ophelia Sarkeesian who is Viper?
I don't know.
I'm fairly certain they're the same. Isn't Madame Hydra like a mantle that different people take up all the time?
I think it could be, yeah. The real question is if Namor and Black Panther should get the Nemesis rule like Green Goblin, Peter Parker, or Carnage Venom. I think Should they
When
get
you,
the nemesis?
right,
Should they get
when
the
you
nemesis
think of
rule?
Black Panther, do you think of, oh, immediately Namor's greatest enemy, or do you think cool dude with vibranium armor?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Unless it's like the first thing you think of with a character and the first thing someone of the general public would think, probably not getting that rule on someone. Whereas if you
Yeah,
go Green Goblin, you go hate Spider-Man.
Carnage and Venom though. I don't think that's as widely known as
That
people
one's a bit
think.
weirder, yeah. I think that's just because they want to put another thing on Carnage's card.
Yeah.
Still wank.
Right. Let's have a look then. What we got next? Right. Malakith.
Are we not showing off Red Skull?
I don't have Red Skull up, so we've got Red Skull as well, guys.
There's
He's
the
not.
Red Skull. He has
Yeah.
weird electric power gauntlet things. There you
Yeah.
go.
It's I don't have the video.
Interestingly, 50 mil base on him.
I'm not sure. I'll see if I can grab a still. But I want to talk about this model, Quinn, firstly, because
Good at it.
and it doesn't want to seem to let me zoom in on it a little bit, but I mean, this is the best model Atomic Mass Games have ever made. I'm saying that right now. It's the best model.
Claim.
I genuinely think over the last 6 months, the quality of models they've been putting out has got better and better and better. This would not look out of place in a Age of Sigmar army. Like, they are getting to Games Workshop level in terms of how good the miniatures are
Is that
starting
more
to
just
look.
the design of the character compared to the actual sculpt, or is it the sculpt itself, do you think?
I think the sculpt itself is amazing. Absolutely. Well, and it's for me, it's all part of it, right? It's the design, it's the level of detail that's on there, it's the pose.
I think it was a real fucking bold move putting him on a mount.
I think it's ballsy, and I love it.
I
Absolutely
think it means
love
we're
it.
getting Odin on Sleipnir.
I know that's your hope, isn't it?
It's your fucking hope as well. Don't pretend I'm the only one here who wants Odin.
This model made me buy some Asgardians right after I saw it. Yeah, I mean that is a beautiful shot of him there.
Probably size 5 as well.
100%.
Fucking huge.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how it depends, and you would think because it's such a big part of his base, big part of his character, it's going to be a big part of his card. You would assume.
You count the cat because, I mean, like, take Ghost Rider, for example. Ghost Rider's a size 2 dude. He's got a size 1 motorbike.
The only thing I would have liked to have seen, and the first thing I checked, and unless they are, and I've never seen them do this, Quinn, unless they're saving it as another reveal. Because you look at pack contents, 1 Malakith miniature, 1 base, 1 stat card, 2 team tactics cards, 7 tokens. I would have really liked to have this guy be beefy as hell on his front, and his injured side is dismounted. Like so you do the damage to the tiger, to the
you
thing
do
first.
Hulkbuster, basically.
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly. I'd have loved to have seen that in here, but without it being able to come back. Right? I think that's because you can't.
Wilson, please no.
Whoa, Rich! How can you say this sculpt is the best one we have? Ballerina of Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. Played Carnage, Gobby, and Modok last night. Pretty killy combo. Yeah. Spider Foes are pretty good. Like, Spider Foes are a really, really nice faction. Is it large Ghost Rider base or larger? It's large Ghost Rider base. It's no bigger than Ghost Rider's base.
I would be very surprised if they ever went for a base size larger than that.
It's huge. Having a large base on...
The game is designed around that being the biggest base size, because if you go any bigger, even with a short move, a character will likely be able to get to the midline with a single action, which is fucking disastrous in many cases.
Yeah, exactly that. So, yeah, this gets a huge thumbs up for me, Quinn. What do we know? So what do we know about Malakith? We know he's going to be the third leader for Cabal. We know that he is going to bring a completely different way of playing Cabal.
Quiet.
Pardon?
We're not there yet. We're not there yet, Chewie. Quiet.
Yeah, I know he is, bless him. And I've seen rumours, I saw a few things talk about, he could be 4th threat, he could be... Guys, I'm telling you now, he's going to be our first 7th threat character in the game. He's on a large base with a massive fucking winged tiger, right? This guy's going to stomp Hulk into the ground, okay? But he's not going to be as powerful as Thanos with 2 gems. But he could be more powerful than Dormammu. But that's a low bar.
Just wait until we get onto Thanos for 2 gems, but please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy gets a huge thumbs up from me. I think it is whoever sculpted this. I'm not entirely sure, but absolute hats off, guys. I think it's absolutely huge, and I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I think I've just saw someone say that there'll be Age of Sigmar players will be putting this on. Yeah, there we go. Cody said 1000% you'll see this MCP table on AOS tables. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. Right. What have we got next? Oh, we've got some Russians or frozen people after they Did you see what happened, Quinn, with the announcement on Twitter?
No, didn't they remove any and all mentions of Russia in the post?
They did, yes, they did. Which look, I don't know. Should they have put Russia up there? I don't know. I think the wording was Russia's answer to the Avengers. Obviously, we all know at the moment what's happening in the current world scene. Quinn, we spoke about this. We spoke about this on another because these were all spoiled by that German site. They put them up there.
Who were yet to have ever been wrong, by the way.
They are yet to ever be wrong. Yes. We spoke about whether or not they'd been delayed because of the whole thing that was happening. We thought they may have been. Turns out that they weren't. They just hadn't released them yet or hadn't announced them yet. Or maybe it was because, look, news doesn't last very long now, guys. It doesn't take long for even something as horrible as what's happening in Russia for the next thing to come along and it just take the headlines. So maybe the fact that it's no longer as in the headlines as it was previously, they thought that they could do it, but I think it was a faux pas on their part to put the Russia thing in there. That's just my personal thoughts. Well, let's not get into the politics of it, Quinn. But let's talk about, first of all, Crimson Dynamo, who we know is going to be the leader of the affiliation. So, as I like to call him, budget Tony Stark, because that is. I mean, this it looks shit. Does the model?
I mean, he looks like a really bad Dark Vader.
But it is on point, right? This is Crimson. He's in most of the comics. It is like a budget Tony or a budget Iron Man.
The Crimson Dynamo I want is the one from Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes because he has a way cooler design. He got a dome thing, purple. He's got a face that isn't just shit Darth Vader.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at what comes in the pack then. So, Crimson Dynamo miniature, Dark Star miniature, 2 bases, and the reason that we know it's going to be Crimson Dynamo, it may even say it in the text, but
it does say it in the text.
We get the affiliation card as well. Cards included, we've got Dark Aura Manifestation. That feels like it's very much going to be a Dark Star card, yeah. Fusion Caster and Winter Rush. So really interesting. Winter Rush feels like it could be a yeah. I was thinking that or like a wombo combo card, like a
like sort of Siege of Darkness.
Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Siege of Darkness where people get to make an attack or I think it probably is going to be Dynamo's helmet looks like budget Darth Vader.
It really does.
I hadn't know. Yeah, he really does. He looks like. He really does actually. I hadn't noticed that, but
it's really bad.
It really,
it's
really
definitely
does.
got that sort of samurai-esque design to it.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, guys, it's a new affiliation, right? So I'm happy we've got it. I do not like, I've seen a few people, how about expanding factions we already have instead of adding more rubbish? I think it's a balance. I think it's
I
a
mean,
balance,
there's nothing
but
to say that any of these characters won't end up in other affiliations anyway. I mean,
That's true.
Dark and Mutant, right?
Darkstar's a mutant. We've already got other characters that I think are going to be part of the Winter Guard as well.
Winter Soldier, perhaps.
Omega Red even could be in there because let's be honest, they play fast and loose with what with what could be.
With who's a good guy and who wouldn't.
Dynamo is Shredder and Hulkbuster armor. Yes, he looks like Shredder from. So with Dynamo, and then with Arnim Zola, right? I'm going to be able to make my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I mean, if you give the bear like a kimono and paint him grey, like splintered.
That's a fair point. Why don't I like Darkstar's pose? Because it's going to be flimsy as hell. And you've seen what's happened to my Scarlet Witch before, Quinn.
In all fairness, that's because you try to put your model in a fucking dice.
Not anymore. I have upgraded. I've not got it here. I have upgraded.
The sheet I gave you.
Yeah. So yeah, look, I'm glad we've got. I just want to. Bad Amish, I want to just jump in on your point there because it's a valid point. There are some affiliations that need not much, but a little something. Asgard have just had some new releases. Can you mute yourself, Quinn? I'm getting horrible feedback from you. There we go. Asgard have already had some. Inhumans definitely need it, and Defenders need it as well. Most definitely. So I'm not saying they don't, but it's a balance. They're showing us the new stuff now. Add Electra's Wrath with the matching weapons. I like it, Lars. But yeah, I think we're going to get more. I think we're going to get more stuff. So don't worry. They will be addressing these things. But this is all with time cycles, guys. Look, I don't know if you heard Will the other night talking on the Legion stream. 24 months, right? They're 24 months in advance. So it's, guys, 24 months is a long, long time. So they may not have realised that Inhumans were going to be in a bad spot, or Black Order really didn't need a second leader. I
can't realise Inhumans be in a bad spot.
But you get my point, right?
I know.
They're not what the current they can't react to what the current meta is right now because it's a 24-month cycle. So, it is what it is. I get your point though, but I think we do need some love for the other things.
React to how the meta is right now. In some ways they have, but we'll get on to that.
We'll get onto that in a second. Right. That is a fucking awesome bear.
Yeah.
So Ursa Major and Red Guardian. Well, playing with friends means that banned and restricted lists mean shit. Yeah, exactly, Glenn. 100%, mate. If you want to play with everything, play with everything. That is absolutely your prerogative. They only come into play when you are playing. I'm not going to say just competitive games. You can have, every casual game I play, I adhere to the banned and restricted list because typically I'm playing. Oh, Quinn, I'm getting really bad.
I don't know why it keeps doing that.
Yeah, every casual game I play, I use the banned and restricted list because I'm usually practicing for a competitive event. But anyway, we're going to get onto that in a minute. This is a goddamn gorgeous bear. So, Mikhail Ursus, okay? Red Guardian, Ursa Major. This guy is just an absolute beast. Let's take a quick look at the Red Guardian. We've seen him before in the MCU, obviously. His shield looks a bit meh, but I'm okay with it. I think he looks like very, very classic Red Guardian. Let's have a quick look at what is in the pack. So we get the miniatures and we get 3 team tactics cards. So they've got Bear Hug, Comrade's Keeper, and Sovereign Strike. One thing I want to talk about, Quinn, and I want to get everyone else's opinion on this. That is now, I'm trying to work out in my head, we have not had a new crisis since Rogue and Gambit, I want to say. So that's about 15 character packs since we've had a new crisis. I think, for me, this is one of the things that has been really...
Why the fuck are you doing that?
I don't know, mate. This is one of the things that's really being neglected at the moment. Yeah, Quinn does need a headset. He's got a little headset in, but it's not working for some reason.
It's not that. I don't know what the noise is because there is literally no sound happening at this present moment.
Yeah. Yeah, lack of crisis cards. Guys, let me know in the chat. What are your thoughts on it? Is it something that you think they need to address? Or is it something you think is okay at the moment? I think they need to address it. I think the paywall now for crisis cards is too much. It used to be okay. You could buy everything and it was fine. But now coming into the game, for me, it's too high. The cost is too high. I think we need to see, Michael, as you said, crisis card pack and more crisis, or just more crisis cards, right? Every affiliation should have a crisis card that comes with them.
Just give me any and all crisis cards that you can because they really increase the variance of the game.
Yeah. Right, Quinn. We've got a lot to go through with this next one.
Yeah.
So there was literally, guys, transmission has just come out, as I say, less than an hour ago when we did this. So let's just refresh this page. So, Marvel Crisis Protocol Challenger events. What are Challenger events? What are we talking about? Well, these have actually been in the rulebook from day one. And it's about the symbols that are in the corner of the cards. Let's go through and we're going to read this and then we're going to break down what it means. We're going to get your guys' reaction as well. But hello and welcome to another installment of Atomic Mass Games Transmissions. Today we're going to talk a bit about the freshly released card pack and some updates to organised play. With the new card pack releasing, some of you may be wondering, why did all these Team Tactics cards get reprinted? And why are there little symbols down there in the bottom right-hand corner? Well, today we will answer all of these questions. These symbols in the bottom corner are set symbols, which we already knew. They denote which set a card is from. Generally, the developers work on sets of characters and cards together, shown by these set symbols. As the game has grown and expanded, we have continued to make new symbols on Team Tactics cards and Crisis cards. This is all very important for the next bit of this, organised play. Below there is a link to a new form of organised play called Challenger events. The Challenger is an elder of the Marvel Universe, dedicated to playing games and challenging others to prove their worth. These events are a way for players to duke it out on the battlefield and prove their skills to the Challenger. So guys, Challenger events are the return of the timeline system that was originally discussed in the organised play kit and in the rules pack way back at the launch of the game, but never previously utilised. Timelines are used in organised play events to limit those events to specific sets that curate different experiences for players. Challenger events are launching with two different timelines to choose from, standard and extended. Standard timeline events allow all characters and crisis cards, but only Team Tactics cards and Infinity Gems that have the set symbols seen here. So, we've got the X-Men symbol, we've got the Mjolnir Asgard symbol, and then we have got the city symbol. So, I'm just going to grab my little folder here that has all of my cards.
Oh, here we go.
Quite neatly arranged, Quinn, in release order.
What, you mean the way I told you to do it ages ago?
Yep, exactly that. So, guys, the Spider-Man symbol was the first symbol that we had. So that means that anything that doesn't have the Spider-Man symbol, anything that doesn't have the Spider-Man symbol, which is basically everything up until to the first pack in CP order that does not have the Spider-Man symbol on. Sorry, doesn't have the Spider-Man symbol on there is, believe it or not, Quinn, Dormammu.
Ooh. I mean, there's a very important caveat here.
Yes.
Which is the card pack. Which
is the card pack. Yeah.
A great many of those Spider-Man set symbol cards with the updated Mjolnir symbol.
Yeah. So what you're going to have to do is, for these particular games, you are going to have to go and get, potentially, that card pack. Now, if I'm a TO, if I'm a TO, I am never in a million years making somebody use the right version of the card with the little symbol in the corner.
If you're a TO and you do, you'll find people not showing up to your event.
This is true. This is true. This is nothing new. We have seen it in almost every other card game, or every other game, that has run for any period of time. And you see it not just in tabletop games. In 40k, they have editions, okay? You got different versions of different games. Games like Hearthstone will change their cards that they're using all of the time. Magic the Gathering, all of the time, it's always changing. But if you cross-reference, Quinn, the cards that have the spider symbol and do not have, and are not in the card pack, there's some cards in there, Quinn, isn't there, that we are going to be losing.
So you may not have been mentioned in the title of this video.
So Quinn, what are the ones? Let's finish this off first. So the standard timeline is curated for the best possible player experience, removing problematic cards and restricting powerful options to bring balance to the game. The extended timeline uses all characters' cards, team tactics that have ever been made for Crisis Protocol. This timeline is totally unrestricted, allowing players to truly test the limits of their roster, building mayhem. What's interesting, Quinn, is the banned and restricted list. So it says each version has their own banned and restricted list. Is the banned and restricted lists that is in place now going to continue to be in play for the use anything you want? Or are they going to rejig all of it?
It's been changed.
Have they okay.
They've updated the banned and restricted list. Shall we go on to that? Because that's the best bit.
Let's wait. Let's get through this first. So have a team tactic as we with your set symbol, but you really don't put no is fine. Use whatever version you want. I'm glad they've said that, Quinn, because that stops arsehole TOs, basically. Very excited about the opportunities. Blah de blah de blah. So let's first of all get everyone's reactions for that in chat. I think it's a good thing. I do think it is a good thing. Are we seeing it in organised play, Quinn? We are, aren't we? Is it in the banned and restricted?
It is now the current banned and restricted list.
So, guys, if you can see this, we have two. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is what I've been waiting for this entire stream, is for you to see that.
So Quinn purposely told me to not read this at... Quinn, I can play drop-off with my Guardians.
We'll never be playing the extended format ever again.
So, what's going to happen with this? Let's first of all go through what we've got, and then we'll give you my thoughts on, and Quinn's thoughts on what is going to happen with it. So, standard timeline, guys. This will become, any competitive events, this will become the default. unless otherwise specified. The following components make up the restricted list: reality, space for Infinity Gems. Good. They needed something.
Goodbye, Thanos.
Goodbye, 8 threat Thanos. I mean, you can, for 8 threat Thanos out of affiliation, change the space for the mind.
And it's not only goodbye Thanos, but also goodbye any other restricted cards in Black Order ever.
Yeah.
Which means that Black Order is no longer a 3-character Flash.
No.
Because it also restricts any and all sort of...
Yeah. Quinn, we were talking about this. We spoke in depth about characters that need erratering. We spent a lot of time on Thanos. And we said, the one thing we said is we need to make the opportunity cost of Thanos higher. Thanos, once he's on the board, you can deal with him. But the problem is that it's so easy for people to take him, then it was just bullshit. Now, there is a cost to taking him. Has it gone far enough? Only time will tell. But let's go on. Advanced R&D. That's one that I'm quite surprised at. I'm very sad, but I'm quite surprised at.
It's going to massively impact Darren because he plays it every game with his Web Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. Brace for Impact, obviously that was in there already. Disarm. I did not see that one coming, Quinn.
I mean, there's also a very interesting one if we skip to the bottom of that list very quickly.
There is, but Disarm... We'll go to it afterwards, Quinn. Disarm is not one I expected, to be brutally honest. Indomitable, I'm surprised it's not on the banned list, let alone the restricted list. So, yeah, interesting that it's only made it on there, but I think it makes sense. It's unusual that something ever goes straight to banned. There's usually, I mean,
it's very rare.
Apparently only if you're a crisis card. And then patch up, as we know, Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, aside from the gems, that's the one that really caught my eye.
I do not run Sacrifice in many of my rosters.
It's one of those cards that I find whenever I'm running a mono affiliation, you tend to end up with about 2 to 3 cards at the end that are just random ones you pull from nowhere. Because you don't have character cards you want to use, and you've already used like your 2 or 3 affiliation cards, plus your restricteds and what have you. Sacrifice, like Blind Obsession, those sorts of cards tend to be the ones that you throw in at the end. Very interesting that that's restricted now, because it puts a massive, massive premium on any bodyguard character.
I also think Advanced R&D and Disarm are also 2 cards in that same category, Quinn. You know, you get to your 9 and you go, what do I throw in? Well, do you know what? All 3 of those cards can be quite useful at some point in a game. You know, they're very broad stroke, aren't they? Which, want to just pick up on a point you just said there, Quinn, increases the value of the stock in bodyguard characters significantly. So yeah, really interesting. I am really, really not happy. Just want to mute yourself again, Quinn. Sorry, cheers, mate. About the next list, which is the banned list. So, and I think they've messed up here, Quinn, because they've removed loads of cards that were on the banned list and not put them in restricted. Like, it's really strange. Like, drop off is no longer on the banned list. So is drop off available now in standard mode?
Like this is definitely like, you know,
is all you've got coming back? Can I do
mode is like wild mode in Hearthstone. It is about random bullshit that just happens.
Oh no, Quinn. The standard mode doesn't have.
It wasn't printed. It wasn't printed in the card pack. It's got the Spider-Man stat symbol.
Oh, of course it is. So they don't need... Right, so that's why. They don't need to put them on there anymore because they have the symbol, therefore they're not in the current set. You're absolutely right. That's me messing up there. Yeah. But what am I not happy about? I'm not happy about the fact that we are losing another crisis card. AMG, stop removing crisis cards, change what they do and make them playable. Put an errata out. Change the point value. Change something that it does, right? Please, because there's so few crisis cards in this game as it is. Removing them is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. So that's my big ask from them, Quinn, because how is Wakandan Herbs not in there, but Deadly Virus is? What is Deadly Virus?
Deadly Virus is such a bullshit crisis. Also, I think I might have fixed my audio because Discord had just gone to default settings for input and output device, which was strange.
There we go. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put a list together now of all the cards. I'm not going to do it now on stream. Don't worry, it's not going to go on for much longer. This, but I will put a list together because right now. In fact, let's actually do this really now. Have we got the contents?
Yeah, there's an image of the contents of the back of that box somewhere. I can have a look and try and find it.
Let's do this really quickly, guys. MCP card pack 2022.
Yeah, it'll be on the back of that. And
there we go. I've got it here.
Reference. Can you send it over to me?
It's just a... Right. Let's put this up. It's not very visible on here, guys, but I'll send everyone a link to this if they've not seen it. So, we're not losing any characters, I don't believe, Quinn.
No, we aren't losing characters because characters are specifically not called out in the OP document.
Cool. Let's have a quick look then at...
Oh god, this entire time I've been on like my shitty PC basic fucking hell. I'm so sorry to all of you that I did not check that earlier.
So Quinn, the first thing I want to do is talk about crisis cards. So let's go through these crisis cards, guys.
Very quickly, Rich, can you do me a favour?
Go on.
Can you knock your camera down a little bit? Because you knocked it in your excitement and now I can only see half your head.
Oh, there we go.
Other way. Oh,
there we go. Doesn't affect you guys. Right. We lose Wakandan Herbs, obviously. Skrulls is the spider image.
No. We're not losing crises.
Are we not?
No, it specifically says that you don't lose crises.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then. That is fine. So let's look.
There's actually a very important clause in this challenger document about you, Rich. The unsportsmanlike conduct section.
Is there really?
Yeah. If your name is Rich Middleton and you're a piece of shit, you can't play an event.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah, here it is. A player has become upset and threatens or becomes violent towards their opponent, a spectator, or any other person.
Is there actually that in there?
Yeah, that's actually in there. These are the reasons for immediate ejection from an event.
I mean, why the hell do we need a document for that? Guys...
I mean, I think the document should say you take them into the car park and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to cross-reference this, okay? And then we'll cross-reference it with this, with the things, and I'll try and get a list, a full list together of every card that is now not available.
Very quickly go through what they say is allowed, like in terms of set symbols, whilst you do that, yeah?
Oh, no, I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it off stream.
Right.
I'll do it off stream.
What they say is allowed is you're allowed all characters.
Yep.
Which, yeah, they're not going to deny you from playing characters you paid money and bought. Team Tactics cards from those 3 sets. Crisis cards from all 4 sets. So that includes the Spider-Man logo, which is why all those crises aren't God. Otherwise, we'd have like 3. And then Infinity Gem cards from the... That's definitely wrong, because it says the Cityscape symbol. It means the Mjolnir one. because there are no Infinity Gems in that one.
Let's have a look. What does it say? X-Men Mjolnir. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
there
it
is
should
none.
have the Mjolnir set symbol.
Yeah, it should do. It should do. So anything with these symbols on, guys, are good to go. What we need to do is just then work out what's in the pack, what's not. I will put a list together. We know that. So let's talk about cards we know. Field Dressing, gone. Medpack, gone. They're the big two.
They
are the
really
big
are
two.
the big two.
They really do change the meta up significantly.
Massively. I mean, also with the new restricted cards as well, like R&D, Disarm, Indom, that kind of thing. Very, very interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting. Excuse me. Very, very interesting indeed. Let us know, guys, down in the comments below.
I think this is going to be a big hit to a lot of affiliations. Like, it's a massive hit to Black Order.
It's huge to Black Order.
Massive hit to Black Order. Like, Black Order have really fucking good tactics cards, right? Blood Spare, incredible tactic card. You got Psychic Shockwave, Black Onslaught, Mothership, all those cards. They're really good.
Yeah.
But now, if you're playing that standard 16-threat roster of Corvus, Proxima, Thanos, you aren't playing any restricted cards because you've taken those 2 gems.
Yeah. 100%.
No, Climbing Gear's gone. No!
Climbing Gear. Yeah.
Climbing Gear was like my favourite unrestricted card. God damn it.
Bit of Rivals has gone as well. Blind Obsession's gone. So, guys, there's lots. There's lots and lots of cards, guys. And
It's very much a brave new world at the moment, isn't it? Like, we're going to have to figure out what is actually gone at this point.
is Neogenetic Recombination gone? No, because it won't be a spider set symbol. That's
that will be the Cityscape symbol because it came with Craven and Lizard, I want to say.
So, guys, I just want to... So, T-Vax just asked a question. So, just to summarise what is happening here. The game has pretty much from today now been split into 2. There is a version of the game where you can play any... let me preface this, right? You've bought things in your own home with your friends. You can play what the hell you want, right? Let me just preface this with that statement. I'm not telling you how you can play with your toys, but this is the official rules from Atomic Mass Games. The game is now split in 2. There is a version of the game, okay, where you can play with every single card that has ever been released for the game, including all of the banned cards that were on the old banned and restricted list, okay? That is going to be the non-standard version of the game. You will not see any real competitive events, at least any official events, but anything at like Adepticon or the Protocol or the Illuminati events or any of the events that we see run in the UK that are ranked, you will not see any of them using the extended version, okay? The standard version is going to restrict the cards that you can take in 2 separate ways. First of all, it's going to restrict the tactics cards that you can take by these 3 symbols that you can see on the screen. So X-Men, Mjolnir, Cityscape. If a card does not have that symbol in the bottom corner, a tactics card, you cannot take that card. Now, there's a caveat to this. In the card pack, some of those cards have been reprinted with one of these symbols on. I don't have it yet. I don't know what symbols it's going to be. It could be a mix.
It's Mjolnir symbol.
Is it just Mjolnir? Okay, there we go.
Well, the Mjolnir symbol, in essence, is the update symbol, because it's on all of the updated cards, character cards as well.
The next way that they're going to restrict you is with the old standard banned and restricted list. But there's going to be cards that are no longer on the restricted list and the
because
banned
they
list
are no longer
because they're no longer
playable
available
in the timeline standard.
Yeah. So it's a brave new world, guys. It is a brave new world. It's going to take a long time to rejig and work out how this is going to look.
It's going to take a while to just have that mental break of going, oh yeah, that card, and then going, oh, that ain't allowed anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
But
for list building purposes, I think this is a really fucking good thing for the game, by the way.
By the way, guys, I am absolutely 100% behind this. Why am I behind it? It takes nothing away. It doesn't stop anybody with a group of friends. Guys, in the next 2 months, I am going to be organising an online extended version of event, right? I will be doing a tournament where I can use drop off and all that other shenanigans, right? But it'll be fun. It will be a casual event, okay? This is really good because it stops the bullshittery and it keeps the game fresh. So for me, it's a really good thing. The game just got completely shaken up. Absolutely,
it'll probably make people shut up about moaning about Thanos for maybe 5 minutes, which is always good.
Yeah, Thanos takes a hit, guys. I will put together a list, or I'll try and compile a list. Do you know what? I'm sure by the time I finish this, somebody else will have done it. Guys, I'm going to ask you all a favour. There's 60 odd people watching this now and only 11 likes on the video. If you could leave a like, it would be greatly appreciated. It really, really does help the algorithm. I don't usually ask for it on these, but it really does help. It's a big thing. So yeah, Hired Muscle is back in Extended. Absolutely.
Oh,
So all the bullshittery that we've ever had. I can see somebody saying it didn't work. Let's have a look. Didn't work for X-Wing. I'd be interested to know, Michael. I've never played X-Wing, so I'd be really interested to know what they did, how it impacted it. So yeah, be really, really interested. So either drop me a DM or message it in here. Guys, we do not had. I went and liked your Legion videos, even though I really haven't had time to watch them. I will say the Legion videos, guys, I just got back into Legion. I got so many rules wrong. Even more than what I get in MCP. So
mate, you also don't have a Quinn yet for Legion to
I
pull
don't
you
have
up
a
on
Quinn.
this shit.
I don't have a Quinn. I do have a Quinn for Legion. He just wasn't on that one with me. So some exciting Legion videos coming, guys, but we'll leave that for a separate video. Quinn, we do not have a theme because we've got no painting competition because, well, we haven't been here for a few weeks. So we need a theme for next week's Weekly Bugle. So as it is the first one back, I'm going to give you the honour of picking this week's theme.
Well, I think very much in keeping with what we've just discussed, I'm going to go for characters with the Spider-Man set symbol.
Ooh, nice. Nice. So any character, one picture. If you guys don't know what this is, we run our weekly painting competition. They actually still need to send the prize out. I do have it here. If you're watching,
it's not a scam, we promise.
No. I've got it here. I'll be sending that out. We'll probably do the next Rivals pack. That feels like a good thing to do. But you submit an entry, and then basically me and Quid will pick out 3 every week, 2 runner-ups, and so 2 honourable mentions and a winner. So yeah, any character with the Spidey symbol at the bottom of their card will be for this week. You submit them through our Discord. So head over to the Discord. There's a dedicated channel there. So head on over and go check that out. So show us your paint jobs. That's what we want to see. Wow, Quinn. I mean, we already had quite a lot to talk about this show, and then it just kicked off.
Yeah, it really did. I also sent you a thing that has all of the cards that weren't included.
Oh, where is it?
It's in your Discord DMs.
Right, give me 1 second, people. Let me get rid of Quinn there. Let me do this. And then, do you know what? I'll bring him back.
Yes, me.
There we go. There we go. So, guys, let's go through I said, didn't I? So, let's go through all the cards. So, these all the cards. I'm not sure with this, Quinn. What are they saying?
Right, so the cell C, I think that's how Excel works.
Yeah, cell C.
Yeah, so that is cards that were left out of the updated card pack.
So these are going
And
to
then cell D is what generic cards were included, what other generic cards were included in that pack.
Oh, wow, okay. So, guys, let me show you this quickly. I don't think it's going to come through. Not that one. No, not that one. Sorry, I was not set up for this. That's Quinn. There we go. Can I zoom in any way, shape, or form? No, I can't. So let me read this out to you guys because it's not going to show up on screen properly. So, card left out of pack. Obviously drop off, right? That makes sense. Seeing red. So seeing red is no longer in the pack, is no longer a card.
I guess that makes Dizzard sad. He used it in his X-Force roster.
Battle Lust.
Yep, the one where you move and get extra dice.
Web Barrier and all you've got?
I mean, no one played Web Barrier anyway, but also all you've got being gone was...
it doesn't make a difference, yeah.
Web Barrier is a very interesting one, because that
Web
feels
Barrier
like
is really interesting, taking
it's
a
the
card...
only affiliated card that seems to have been, like, dismissed.
We'll have a quick look through and double check, but I think it could
well,
be.
I mean, they're colour-coded, so there's no other green ones.
Field Dressing, guys, has gone. Tactical Analysis has gone.
Yeah.
Medpack has gone. Rocket Boots has gone. Unearthly Rage, Blind Obsession, No Escape, Reversal, Grievous Wounds, Hired Muscle, it had already gone anyway, Acute Sensors, Climbing Gear and Extreme Conditioning, Heavy Ordnance, and Bitter Rivals. So, actually I've just realised that's how we zoom in. There we go. Quinn, the ones from here that I'm calling out, obviously Bitter Rivals, Medpack and Field Dressing, they were all restricted cards.
Yeah.
So it's interesting they've gone. And that changes the meta significantly. Web Barrier.
Web Barrier is such a strange one. It feels like these changes have very, very, like, prominently affected one, Black Order, like I've been saying throughout most of this entire thing. But also, two, Web Warriors, I think, have been affected in a big way. And, like, Web Warriors are a really strong affiliation. They're one that's, like, typically flown under the radar, but losing access to, you know, like... Well, not losing access to, but having restricted access to things like R&D, no longer having Medpack, these things all massively change up the game. There's also a trio of cards in this list I'd like to pick out very specifically, which are Tactical Analysis, Climbing Gear, and Extreme Conditioning. And I'm calling out those three because they are effectively a removal of movement manipulation that works for, like, turn one plays and that sort of thing, which is typically where we see these sort of updates targeted, is towards those sort of turn one plays that people have figured out.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, hence why Wakandan Herbs is gone, right? Like, they don't want that shit in the game. Which, by the way, guys, I am 100% behind. Like,
I just want more crises.
So that's the other side of it. So, I mean, yeah. It's interesting as well. It's a lot of cards giving more dice as well. So you've talked about the movement side of things.
I think a lot of those cards have just been taken out because no one plays them, if I'm honest. Like, Unearthly Rage. I mean, Blind Obsession is like the one exception, but like Blind Obsession, Heavy Ordnance, all of those really crappy attack cards.
Yeah,
Nah.
I was really surprised Blind Obsession didn't go in the because it never quite did replace Bitter Rivals.
No.
But if you wanted something, then that was there. But yeah, I'm really, really surprised by this, guys. I'm not surprised that they've done it. It needed it. It was ready for it. The game is now coming up to being 3 years old, I believe. Or it's in its third year. Sorry, let's say it's in its third year. So it was the right time. But I'm just surprised. Standard events cater to comp players. Extended caters to casual players. If you run an event at a friendly local gaming store, have your attendance if you choose one or the other.
I mean, no, you don't. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
And that might be how it played out in X-Wing. I don't know. I wasn't part of the X-Wing community, but that's very much not how I see this working in this game with this community, at least in the UK.
Yeah, and this I'm only going to speak for the UK here as well. So I think you have. There are now 4 things that people need to consider when they are running an event here in the UK. First of all, are you using standard or extended? I mean, just by the wording on it, standard will be standard.
I mean, I very much think that standard will be almost every single event you see, and there will be the odd for fun extended one once in a blue moon, like you just talked about running online.
Yeah, standard would be like what a draft night is. Sorry, extended would be like what a draft night is. I would actually combining those two together, right? Extended with draft would be a really cool, fun thing to do. But you're never going to have a big UK championship or indeed any other championship or important ranked game. And what do I mean by that? I mean a game where or an event where you pay an entry fee, right? You turn up, it's 10, 15, 20, 25 quid, whatever it is, to turn up to the event. There's a prize pool, there's everything else. They will be standard. They will be standard. I think if you ran them as extended, to your point, Michael, I think that is where you will see players not turning up.
Yeah.
So I agree in some capacity. And sorry, just to clarify, when we're talking about ranked or unranked, we are referring to Longshanks there. That is what we are. That is what we are referring to. So I think if you run a standard unranked event, a standard unranked event, people will turn up. If you run a standard ranked event, people will turn up. If you run an extended unranked event, people will turn up. If you run a extended ranked event, I don't think that'll be one that people look for. I don't think that's what people will look for. I just need to check my DMs apparently. But Quinn, what's your thoughts on it? Just while I check this.
I mean, my thoughts on it are that standard is going to be the way that the game is played predominantly, because it's a more cultivated experience. It feels less prone to sort of feel bad plays. As having someone drop someone off in your face doesn't really feel fun for the person on the receiving end of that, right? There are a lot of factors that go into what's going to be the predominant one that's chosen by the community. I think I can very confidently say it's going to be standard, because that's just how we play the game at events. I mean, it's how we play the game casually as well. Because, if you have this unrestricted extended format, you're going to have people doing, batshit insane broken plays. And most things that are broken are not fun, because that's the essence of what being broken is, right? It breaks the cycle of play in the game, and it makes it, not enjoyable. Standard in this format changes and adapts what is playable, and therefore what is, whether those broken things can be used or not. and also just generally better allows AMG to keep a better finger on the pulse of the community and how things they release are affecting it, and how new discoveries are affecting it as well.
Yeah, and this is the way, isn't it? Now, this is how we spoke at the beginning about how it's impossible for AMG to release characters or character packs based on the current meta. This is the way that they react to what is happening in the game right now. And you can have the greatest playtesters in the world and have them test as much as they want, but the reality is, until this stuff comes out into the public, you're never going to know what
there's
the
always like
implications
an
of some things are.
exponential increase in the number of playtesters once something is released into the world, right?
Exactly. So I actually think a couple of people have said that, you know, casuals not wanting to strip down the list and anything like that. To your point, Quinn, I actually think the opposite. I do think the opposite.
I think
what is
Standard
better
is a far friendlier format
100%.
to casual players.
Yeah, 100%. I would not recommend anybody going into this game playing the extended version as their first experience of this game. Because I tell you what, if I came up against someone, just think about all the banned and restricted cards we've had and the absolute shit show that you could do with some of those things, with some of those characters, with what we have now. It's stupid. I mean, you could have a drop-off, you could use rocket boots and drop-off and have Dormammu carry Hulk across the board. Like, it's... And that's not even a particularly good example, but that's the sort of bullshittery that you can do, right? Or you can have Dormammu pick up a Thanos and drop him off.
I mean, technically, if you had the power for it, you could drop She-Hulk off twice in a round.
Yeah, and it's fine for an event where everyone understands this is bullshittery.
Yeah.
Then,
if that is the theme of the event, that is completely fine. However, imagine you're like, you just got into the game and you've shown up, and you didn't realize that there were these different types of events. You've shown up to one of these extended formats, and someone's pulled this kind of bullshit on you without you having any sort of preparation or understanding of that being something that can happen.
yeah.
That's going to put you off the game.
Yeah, so I want to pick out two comments here. One is Josh, and Josh, thank you for that list, appreciated. I mean, if you're playing extended with a comp mentality, you're a dick. I agree. And then the last one is from Michael. People like their bullshittery, and they do. Standard version of the game stops the bullshittery.
People like their own bullshittery. They don't like other people's bullshittery.
Yeah. Once the bullshit left X-Wing, people didn't want to play. So what I will say, and again, I don't know how X-Wing compares to this game as the mechanics and how it plays. What I will say about MCP is there is not a single card that has been removed from this game, either on the banned and restricted list or on the set, with a standard. Yep. There is not a single card now that has been removed from the game. Actually, I'm going to say with the exception of one, and I'll get onto that one, that hasn't, or that has meant a character is now completely unplayable. Okay? There isn't anything that's been removed from this game that makes characters unplayable. This is just stopping the combinations of what is coming on characters' stat cards and very old tactics cards that are now in the position where they're now building characters that they weren't thinking about when the core set was made. They're at the end of...
Right, to sort of coin a phrase, you know the term future-proofing, right, Rich?
I do, yes.
In effect, this removes the requirement for AMG to past-proof.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it really does. Guys, we're gonna leave it there because we've been going now for quite some time. This also means you're not buying useless cards. Yeah, and I want to point out actually, somebody just put card pack. You can ignore a whole bunch of character packs now. They've reduced the cost of accessing some of these cards by doing that. Black Order seem to have taken their hit, but I don't mind it. Nobody does. But guys, we are going to leave it there. Quick reminder, couple of things. First of all, make sure you get the date in the diary for MiniStravaganza. Second of all, Quinn, your theme was for the painting competition?
It was the Spider-Man set symbol characters.
There we go. Don't go buy the character pack card if you don't need to, guys. You will be able to use all of those cards. So yeah, don't do it if you don't need to. It is not compulsory. However, if you are a new player and you don't want to pick up the Black Order pack, or you don't want to pick up all these other cards, right? All these other cards that you want access to. Actually, there we go. It's quite nice. Stay safe and take care, Dum Dum Duggan and Rich Senior. Excellent. Guys, as I mentioned, if you could leave a like, please do. It really, really does help. I want to give a big shout out to all of the Patreon supporters as well. Everyone that supported me on Patreon they're the reason why I've been able to get all of the new equipment. Because I said from the beginning that I was only going to buy things, I was only going to do things once I'd made enough money on the channel to be able to do it. So I've been able to get a new camera. I've been able to get let me just why is this not letting me do it? I've been able to get a new board set up, whole new rig now. So we are going to be doing MCP battle reports from home. So yeah, if you do want to support us on Patreon, for some reason I cannot find the link anywhere. Oh, stop sharing that, you absolute numpty. But yeah, I'll just put the link up. Just if you do, it's always optional. Nothing, by the way, is ever behind a paywall. We don't ever put any content behind a paywall. It's just something we don't do. You may get things slightly earlier if you are on Patreon and want Patreon. And the one thing that you will get is access to our monthly MCP event. So it is a ranked event. We will be using the new standard rules. Big shout out to Quinn actually for running that for this month. I don't know if it's come to an end or not yet, Quinn.
It hasn't quite yet because Marcus and I are still yet to play our game, but it will be coming to an end soon.
Always you. It is always.
It really, really isn't, Rich. It's typically you.
I know it usually is. The description of this vid has the link. Oh, thank you, Caden. That is much appreciated. But yeah, guys, we're going to leave it there. Go to Discord if you haven't already. There's some good stuff on there. Check out all our other content. If you're interested in Star Wars Legion, there's going to be more Star Wars Legion content coming as well. But guys, as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well,